What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie and welcome back to another video. And today I want to show you guys how to protect your privacy by setting up your own search engine called Whoogle. Now, as I stated in the intro of the video, I want to show you guys how to set up your own search engine. It's your private search engine that you can use. And then one of the benefits of actually using this is to protect your privacy, because we all know that every search engine tracks the searches that you make. So when you go search something up on Google, that's tracked. And especially if you're logged into your Google account, then that information is tracked and stored based on your Google account. And this is how they provide you ads. Well, we can get rid of all of that by setting up our own search engine using a project that I find called Whoogle. And it's an awesome project, and I wanted to show you guys how to actually set it up. And I'll give you the basic way of actually installing it and setting it up on your own web server. And I'll also use the cloud so you can have something off-prem that you can search besides Google or Bing or any of those other search engine providers. Now let's hop over to my browser so I can show you guys a little bit about the project. Alright, cool. So I have the project pulled up. It's actually on GitHub. It's called Whoogle Search, and it's created by a guy named Ben Bugsby. And like I said, this is an interesting project. As you can see, it says a self-hosted, ad-free, privacy-respecting meta search engine. So that's super dope in itself right there, you know, by there being a project out there that allows you to set up your own search engine. Now, one thing about it, while reading the documentation, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it uses some of the results from Google, which is what most projects do when they're creating a search engine. I remember Brave, when they came out with their Brave search engine, a lot of their indexes came from Google results. But the cool thing about it, you know, it respects your privacy, because those searches are not tied to any accounts. It's not tied to your IP address. The only thing that's logged is your IP address, but it's on your own server, and you can easily delete that if you want to. You see what I'm saying? But none of those big search engines will have your search history. Now, if we look a little further down, it's MIT license. As you see, a lot of people are interested in this project. It has 4.8K stars, 76 people watching it, and 518 forks. And the current version is 0.7.0. And like I said earlier in the video, I wanted to show you guys how to set it up using Docker. But they have a bunch of different ways you can actually install it. You can deploy it on Heroku, quick deploy, let's see, ripple.it, fly.io, pip, X and pip, and then a manual install, and then as well as Docker, which is the way I want to show you guys how to do it. But it's also in the AUR, which I thought was super interesting to see. But you also had an option for Kubernetes using Helm, and then also it breaks down everything about the actual application that you're setting up. You know, it basically has the usage, and then it goes through the extra steps of actually setting it up or making modifications to the server in order for it to run well. And then you can also contribute to it. If we go down to the contribution portion, that's always good to actually try to help contribute to some of these applications if you can, if you have the programming skills, because in order for these programs to become better, they need contributors to actually add to the build of the project. Now, if we go over here, this is the other page, is the pip page or the Python page, and it's basically the same information, but you can check this out right here. This is like the main page for it. You can download files if you need to, but like I said, I'll be using the Docker version. So I'm gonna set this thing up using Docker, because that's the simplest way of actually installing it, especially on a cloud provider. And today, for the cloud provider, I'll be using Linode, which is an awesome cloud provider. So just make sure you check that out if you're interested in looking for a cloud provider. I know you have Google as well as Azure, but Linode it sits on its own as a great cloud provider that I think people should really look into. Now let's go down and hop right over to the server so we can get things going. Okay, so I have my terminal up and I'm SSH'd into the server running in the cloud. So let's go through the install right fast of Whoogle search, and then we'll go through it. I'll go through and show you guys how to actually use it. Okay, so we have a couple prerequisites. First, you want to make sure the user account is added to the Docker group. And so let's just type in sudo user mod and then -a, capital G, and then Docker is the group that's created when you have it Docker installed on the system. And since it's a fresh system, I didn't add this user account to the Docker group. So let's go through and add it by typing in our password, sudo password, press enter, and that'll add us to that actual group. Now let's make sure Docker is running by typing Docker, and then we can type the PS option. And as you can see right there, it says you don't have permissions from what it looks like. So let's run it as sudo and see if that works. Boom, yes, that works. So we're good to go. And it's actually started. That lets us know right there that it's good to go. So now we could just run sudo for each command after that and just run docker pull, which will actually pull the image down. So docker pull, and then let's grab that image name, that way I don't have to search it, and we can go through and install it right fast. And that should be the latest version of Whoogle search. So we'll wait for that to download. Now we can go on and start our Docker image by simply running it. So we can just type docker run, and then let's type -- publish, and this will actually put it on a specific port. And the port we'll use is 5000, and this is based on the documentation. I'm just following their documentation as far as the ports that they're using. And then also we could detach it. That way we don't have the image open, you know, where we can't interact with the command shell anymore. So detached, and then -name, and then Whoogle search. We can name it Whoogle. You can kind of name it whatever, but I'm gonna just name it Whoogle search, and then space, and then now we have to specify the image. So I'm gonna just paste that in there because that's the image name. And also let's put latest, so it'll always run the latest version after that, after the colon. So let's press enter, and it should start our server. And it doesn't look like it doesn't because I didn't put sudo in front of it. Not sure why I didn't do that, but yes, that's what we have to do, is put sudo in front of it. So sudo, boom, docker run, and it'll run it. It should run it unless we're seeing any. Yeah, we saw an issue, manifest unknown. And let's just run it again without putting latest on there. Maybe that's what's causing the issue. Yeah, there we go. So it ran that time. We're good to go. So that's the actual Docker image. And if we could run sudo docker ps after that, and that'll show us that our Docker image is actually running. And like I said, it's running on port 4000. So that's where we want to go once to actually get to the search engine. So let's switch over back to our browser right fast and go down and open up the IP address for the server. And this is the actual server running on Linode. And like I said, guys, check out Linode. It's a great platform, especially to set up things on the cloud. So if we grab our IP address, put it in here, type port 5000 behind it, press enter, and that is our Whoogle search. And so let's just test this thing out by typing test. Cool. And as you can see, you know, it looks just like Google in my opinion. But one thing that's missing is all those ads. And then you can also, you know, sort by, you know, books, news, images, which is super cool. So you can pull up your images and all that stuff. And then not sure why it took away everything. Yeah, but I wanted to click on videos. Okay, cool. So it pulls up a list of videos, and this is your own private search engine. Now let's go back to the home page because I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the configuration. Now you can set up your country if you wanted to, interface language, you can specify that, search language, city, you can put that information in there if you want to, but the default, you know what I'm saying, is just fine. It'll work. but this will narrow down your searches based on your location. So you could put a city near you, you know what I'm saying, and without putting the blocks and all that stuff. But then, you know, block by title, use regex, show Node.js links, so you can turn that on. They have some themes, so let's check out the themes. Let's hit the dark theme. I just want to check that out and see what it looks like. And that's super cool right there. I like the dark theme because dark is always easier on the eyes, but they also have that light theme. The light theme is the default. Let's hit apply. Boom. Let's open that back up. But you have safe search, you know, you can click that on if you want to. Replace social media links if you want to. You can change that up. Open links in new tab. You know, you just got your basic configurations you could change here, and then you can also put some custom CSS in there, which is super cool. So you can modify this thing based on your desire of how you want it to actually look. Like for instance, they have the light theme right here. You can modify that if you want to change up the colors in any way, and then you got your dark theme. You can change up the colors in any way there as well. So super cool. And if you understand code, you know, or CSS, then this is very easy to follow, and you can modify it, you know, as you see fit. You know what I'm saying? Super dope application, super dope project that I think a lot of people should actually check out. You know what I'm saying? Because these searches are not being tracked or modified, and you can easily set this up using a Docker image just like I did, and have this thing running in the cloud as a alternative search engine that you don't have to worry about people tracking you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is an excellent program that I think you guys should check out. Definitely if you want to protect your privacy. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I just wanted to stress to you that this does help protect your privacy by not logging your searches. And if you're new here, just go down and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have more and more content, Linux content, coming on the channel for 2022. I'm excited about this new year. I got a lot of things planned for the channel. So I hope you guys have a good day, and of course, keep it techie.